Now, Rory met the media on Tuesday to talk about his year.
In terms of consistency, especially in the majors, it's probably, yeah, I didn't win one of those big four, but second at Augusta, third at the Open, fifth at the US Open, and eighth at the PGA. Like it's been very, very consistent. I feel I've said this year felt very, very similar to 2019. Very similar numbers in terms of strokes gained. If anything, I was a little better this year stats-wise. Better around the greens. Definitely putted better. It's the first time I ever finished in the top 20 in putting on the PGA Tour this year. So it's really nice at this stage in my career, 15 years in, I'm still finding ways to improve. That's a really positive thing going forward. So it's been a great year, and I'm excited to see where I can go from here because as I said, to see those improvements 15 years into a career is something that excites me moving forward.
Don't bet against this man the way Rory McIlroy is talking. I'm curious, Eamon, when you listen to what he has to say, the stats bear out improvement, the wedge game, the putting. I feel like he's gotten to a point in his career with his family, with his voice that, yeah, he wants to win a green jacket, but he doesn't necessarily needs to win a green jacket. He wants to win more majors, but I don't think he necessarily needs to, and by not needing to, maybe those big trophies will tumble his way.
I guess we still measure Rory McIlroy's success in a given year by major championships. It's how fans and certainly the media tend to cover it. But don't you feel as though it sounds as though Rory has broadened his definition of what a successful year is, including granular stuff, talking about specific areas of his game where he just simply wants the performance to be better. But it's also this idea of the success coming in terms of the bar he's setting for himself. And that's not just a performance bar. In terms of what he's done outside the ropes this year, it's could have very easily have been a distraction. I know you and I have had this debate whether it's a distraction or fuel. It certainly seems that your argument early in the year that it was fuel has proven to be the right one in this. But it's his impact this year will extend far beyond the calendar in terms of what the PGA Tour looks like. And it's just, to me, it's interesting that he seems to have a different metric by which he judges the success of a year, both granular and, I guess, big picture, certainly then beyond four majors.
I really thought that the Whistling Straits, those tears on Sunday, I thought that was a cathartic moment for him. I thought it would lead to some wonderful play. Sometimes Rory McIlroy, I think, needs to have things to play for. Through a long career, you're not going to always have your knife sharp. Outside of Tiger Woods and Wayne Gretzky, I mean, Magic, Michael, I mean, Tom Brady, it's hard to stay motivated every single week, every single time. And I think that Rory was so disappointed in his play and loves the Ryder Cup so much. And then you throw in this live golf business into the equation, and Rory able to use his voice and perform as an ambassador and spokesperson for the PGA Tour and to win a FedEx Cup for the third time, and now a chance to win the race to Dubai and join the likes of Henrik Stenson since 2013 to do so. So I just think that with his family life, he loves being a dad. When I walked a hole with him at the U.S. Open at Brookline, we were talking more about parenthood than about his wedges. He just seems to be, the talent is there. But it just seems like, as you say, things granular, things big picture, small picture. It just seems like right now he looks like a very, very dangerous player going into 2023.
And doesn't he look very different from the guy we saw in Dubai last year when the infamous Nipplegate happened, when he lost the tournament on the last hole, got so frustrated he tore his shirt. And that came a couple of months after the Ryder Cup, where he was also emotional because ultimately he realized he just wasted 6 months of his career listening to Pete Cowan at that point. And then he finally got the victory at the CJ Cup when he was back with Michael Bannon, his coach. His expectations suddenly ratcheted up when he realized that his team was really now in place. There was no upheaval at all. Life was good at home. He had the team around him was in place, and he felt as though he was going to move forward. And I think the frustration boiled over because he put himself in position in Dubai last year and didn't do it. But what we've seen out of Rory McIlroy this year is a guy who has all of the pieces in place and has that little motivation, the desire to prove a point. And we saw that particularly that Sunday in Canada when he got his 21st PGA Tour victory and remarked on how it was one more than Greg Norman. And he has used all the noise around him as fuel. He does look particularly dangerous next year. The weight of not having won a major for 8 years is still going to be carried around with him, though. He can't outrun that, but if he's not measuring himself by it, maybe it does less damage to him.